U.S. Supreme Court hears arguments today in the case of Duane Buck. He's a convicted Texas murderer. He's been sentenced to die. Quentin Brogdon is here. What does this case involve, Quentin, and why should we care about it?
Good afternoon, Rusty. This case is a case we all should care about because although there's no doubt about the guilt of the man who's on death row, Duane Buck, or the gruesome nature of his crime, he was sentenced to death. Even the prosecutor who prosecuted him agrees in Texas because of testimony. Perhaps the testimony was there, but perhaps this is what put the jury over the edge in sentencing him to death. Testimony that he was more likely to be a danger in the future just simply by virtue of the nature that he's black.
Okay.
And
when did that happen? Because I can't imagine anybody saying that in the past 15, 20 years.
This was in the late 90s when this case went to trial. And it's actually the paradox here, the irony is it was his expert witness who first said this on direct examination, and then the prosecutors highlighted it further. So his own expert gave his opinion out, and it just doesn't pass the smell test. The state of Texas, in 5 other cases just like his, didn't oppose resentencing those death row inmates, and they originally agreed not to oppose his resentencing, and then they reneged on the deal. So it's made its way all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court.
All right, this is probably
really
one that deserves to be a Supreme Court case, correct?
It does. It is a textbook example of racial disparity, and nobody should go to death row simply by virtue of the nature of their race. Let's let a jury decide just based on the nature of his crime, and if they sentence him to death row, then so be it. But you can't have this kind of thing injected in a case. It just doesn't.
Although, does it look? I mean, according to the story, he shot and killed his ex-girlfriend in front of her children while she begged for her life. He also killed the man he thought she was sleeping with. Then he shot his own stepsister, who was at the scene, although she survived. So obviously, she probably testified. So it doesn't look like this is a good guy.
No question he's guilty. No question he committed heinous crimes, plural. No question. The only question is whether constitutionally you can put somebody on death row and have evidence that they're more likely to be a danger just by virtue of the nature, that they're black. That just isn't right at any level.
All right. Quentin Brogdon, give me your website if you would, please.
Sure. Crain, Crain, Lewis, LEWIS.com. Thanks for having me on, Russ.
Thank you. I appreciate it for being here on Trending Today USA. Thank you.